Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just, I ain't telling no lies, I just, 5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. Down to you, that money, my dreams come true, my life in diamonds. Who knew?
You say? Let me stop. What's going on, you guys? Welcome to Making the Case for Your Lawyer Dreams. I'm so excited to be with you. My name is Anthony, of course, the founder of BecomingJD, where our goal, our purpose is to equip you guys with the resources, tools, motivations, and skills to successfully navigate your lawyer dream. As our room fills up, I see a lot of my regulars here. What's going on, Latoya? What's going on? As our room fills up, this is going to be a wonderful space if, in fact, you're applying to law school and you need to know what to do next. So, of course, as usual, I'm holding it down in St. Louis, Missouri. It's not the place where I want to be, but it's the place currently where God has me. So as our room fills up, I want you guys to let us know where it is that you're viewing our session from. I'm really excited about the guest that we have on. She's family, she's cousin, she's kinfolk. Lorraine is going to be coming on to kind of help you guys learn what you need to be doing right now. That's if you've already applied. That's if you're contemplating applying. Because I think a lot of people are looking, and there's so many myths out there. People don't know what to do. And so I wanted to make sure and go directly to the source. And why not go to family to get the information that we need? So we got Lorraine coming on. She's actually already waiting in the chat. So let our room fill up. Let us know where you're viewing our session from. I know there's a lot of things going on right now. If, in fact, you've already applied to law school, either one, you're being waitlisted, or either you've been ghosted, or either one, you've been accepted. We've had a lot of people get in law school thus far this cycle, and I cannot wait to be able to help more get in. So holla at your boy, because I love celebrating you guys taking the next step in your lawyer journeys. We knew last week we had there was PreLaw Summer Institute. They had an event going on where they told you guys about opportunities to help you guys get into law school. And I posted in my stories, if in fact you missed it, the information, which of course is available free 99 in my stories, y'all. So make sure you go there and check it out. We want to leave no stone unturned. We want to make sure we're doing everything in our power to make sure that you guys are going to be in law school. I could give you guys the information. I could have amazing guests like Lorraine come on, but it's up to you guys out there. Yeah, you. To take this information and do something with it. We got my girl Lorraine, of course, holding it down in New York. My friends, thank you for joining us. Yuri, thank you for joining us. Wilson Wills, thank you for joining us. I want you guys to make sure that you're utilizing this space. And one of the promises that I make before everybody, I swear for God, y'all, that if in fact you put a question in the chat box, I promise that we will not end the live until every last question is answered. This is a space created for you to get you the answers you need to successfully navigate this journey. Everybody has a winning case to get into law school, which is why we call our show Making the Case. We just got to make the right case. So we're going to go ahead and get Lorraine on and tune in. Don't just watch. Go into the chat, ask questions, and get answers too. All right, so let's go ahead and get her on. And then, because she always does, and I'm sure you guys saw it in her promo video as well. But nevertheless, I want you guys to make sure that you understand literally how quickly things can change. You think that things are not going right, and then all of a sudden, you done bagged an acceptance, which of course happened earlier today for one of my students. What's going on, sis?
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. I tell people out there for real. I remember when I tell people to go meet up with you when they were doing the fairs, I said, you tired? Go talk to Miss Lorraine. Lorraine to get you all the way right. I remember when I met you in Atlanta, And I was all the way right, even though there was a tornado and everything going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have received all the love. You have sent me to a couple of handful of mentees of mine now who DM me, ask me plenty of questions, set up Zoom meetings, and I love, love, love connecting with pre-law students to help them get their applications right.
And the thing again, for you guys who did not, this is Lorraine. She, go ahead and give her our professional titles.
We
Where are
love
you from? What you
that.
know? And if they didn't catch the
I am
accent,
born and raised New York. I am a Queens girl. CUNY Law is in the heart of Long Island City, Queens. I got accepted to CUNY Law in 2021, but I got accepted to CUNY's Pipeline to Justice program in 2020. So my journey to law school is kind of untraditional, but through attending CUNY Law, now I currently work as an alumni recruiter for the admissions department for CUNY, and I'm also the mentorship program coordinator for the Pipeline program and the Black Law Student Association. So I'm all about mentorship, community, and just being an advocate for us because we need us in these spaces.
absolutely. Y'all catch all them titles,
Yeah.
right? And we ain't even talking about the singer, the
No,
artist, the
this is
creator,
all law school.
all of that, But the thing that's amazing, and I want you guys to utilize this as a space to get answers, because I know there's so many myths out there. And no matter, who you voted for, with things that are happening right now and executive orders being passed, DEI programs disappearing at Target and Walmart, people are wondering, this is like, okay, so what is it, how does this impact law schools? Programs that were literally going to be going to people straight from law school are being pulled from the federal government. And so it's a lot of things happening, and it's a lot of people just trying to figure out where to find answers. And unfortunately, TikTok or Twitter may not be the way to get them because you get both sides. So I want to ask you, like, what have been some of the biggest things that you had said in on meetings about in regards to how things are now different with DEI on the chopping block and so many different programs across the country?
I feel like there is a pressure and a fear that everything is changing, so it's not the right time to do this. But I absolutely would disagree with that, that this is the perfect time to get your legal education and do the work that is going to be so necessary the next political round, presidential election and everything. The culture changes, but I think that's the beauty of learning the law is that the law changes with every decision that's being made. And how do we learn to use the tools that we gain in law school to litigate for the people with the cases and making that change, that legal change that we want to see, whether it's actually writing the laws or litigating the bad laws to support our cases the right way. So there's so many opportunities, but definitely the political culture has changed how we want to navigate the legal world.
And I think the thing also that's amazing, I try to put it in the post, is that, you go and look at schools to see what they're doing. And one of the things that was kind of amazing is after affirmative action was overturned, we had 95 law schools, increased enrollment of African Americans and Hispanic students. And so I want you guys to be able to realize they're in the numbers, and schools are very conscious about where their strength is and the strength and value of diversity. And so I don't want you guys to be discouraged. And I know one of the things also is just like, one of the things that's happened also is applications are up like by 32%.
It's so exciting. I think people are trying to make the change that they want to see, and I'm so excited to see that. So excited.
And of course, when applications are up, that means that the application cycle is slower.
Right.
I really want to give you the floor for a moment to talk to those people who either one have been, how we used to call it, ghosted by law schools, or just sitting here, I applied in September, or I applied last year and haven't heard anything back. What's some advice you have for them, sis?
Oh man, I think the waiting game is the most nerve-wracking. Being on the admin side now, I have such sympathies and adoration for the folks who are physically reading each and every application and finding the right applicant for the incoming class. It's a lot of work, and a lot of administrators, I won't say are understaffed, but it
Yeah.
takes a lot of work to review each application. So I just say be courteous to that process and to keep busy. I love being active, doing a lot of community outreach and work, but also take this time to truly appreciate your free time, because once you start law school, you are on and active until the rest of your academic and professional career.
Yeah, I mean, real talk. I mean, enjoy your 8 hours while you can.
Yes.
Like literally, sis, I'm programmed now that when I get the 4 hours, my body wakes up. It's like we're supposed to be doing something.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
do 8 hours
No.
anymore. But
No.
but one of the things I actually want to talk to you about is I think a lot of people don't know what goes behind the scenes. So they just know I clicked submit last year and I ain't heard nothing. So can you tell people a little bit what that process is like when people click submit? What happens next?
I love that question, because behind the scenes you have not only, so the beginning of the semester, I was a part of the admissions team where we just did recruitment. So we want y'all to come to the schools to do the research and really commit to the individual schools. And every law school across the nation is doing recruitment in the fall. So we do the heavy work to get applications in, and then we have to sit and review the applications. So currently, admissions, our applications are still open here at CUNY Law until the end of May. So a lot of schools are still doing recruitment, surprisingly, but they're also gearing for the very quick or short turnaround, which is reviewing the applications, drafting the letters, and actually giving tours and committing to, or students who had already received early applications, inviting them to the school to view the school in the spring semester. But if you are in the general pool where you submitted your applications after early decision applications, it really is, once applications, the deadlines close, it's admissions are just reviewing and doing that process in a short turnaround.
And Cole, what Lorraine is saying, listen, fam, it ain't personal.
No.
And the truth of the matter is you actually want them to take their time.
Right.
Because if they're taking their time, you guys, it means that they're going to take their time to look over your application too.
Absolutely.
And how quick is it to sit in that 2-page thanks but no thanks? That's pretty quick, you know? And I'm sure you guys out there, I can personally speak to myself. I got a couple of those. Thanks, no
Yes.
thanks.
Yes.
So if you haven't gotten anything now, that means chances are you're in committee. That means that they're evaluating your application. And they're actually standing true to their statements when they say that they view applications holistically, right?
Whatever that means.
Right. But I know out there that a lot of times people feel a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
And we're going to Reddit to find out. And then we go on Instagram. We see, damn, somebody else got accepted. Damn, what's wrong with me? You know? But it's just a process. Now, one of the other questions, please ignore the barking dog.
You are fine. I'm in New York City. Barks, sirens, nothing bothers me. That's activity.
But one question I want to ask is, what if I haven't applied yet? Because I get this question a lot, sis. People say, is it too late?
No.
Or should I wait to the next cycle? What do you tell them, sis?
I have received this question actually from a lot of folks who are not confident in their recent LSAT scores. So the January and February scores have been, I believe they have been dropped, and they're not confident in applying for this cycle. So that doubt, which I completely understand based off the statistics or anything, but I applied regardless of that score. And it was with that confidence that got me to where I am right now. If you were going to play the waiting game, you shouldn't in this application time because it is rolling admissions as well as you're in a general pool of applications at the moment. So the sooner the better. But if you are not confident that this is your next step now, then I also consider opportunities to network, to meet people in the community, to get you that confidence. Like, yes, I want to go to law school, but I'm not 100% confident. Can you guide me, mentor me, give me some more information about your law school, what you do for work? There's so many ways to build your community if you're still unsure right now.
Awesome.
It's
So
fun.
Caitlin just posted a question. She said, I'm taking LSAT in April, but I really want to apply in this cycle. So I'm gonna go ahead and give to the expert. What's your vibe?
So if you have schools in mind and you're gauging, like if you're retaking if you're retaking the LSAT in April versus are you taking it for the first time in April is very important. But if you know the schools that you want to apply to and you kind of have a gauge on what's their general acceptance with their LSAT scores, I absolutely encourage you to hit submit if the deadline is in late May, which it generally is. A lot of law schools accept April LSAT scores as well.
And just to piggyback on it, I think one of the things to emphasize is this: all schools are not one size fits
Yep.
all. We have some schools that have application deadlines like CUNY law. We have some law schools that actually have what they call a rolling admissions, where they're literally accepting people until, hey man, we ain't got no more seats left.
Right.
So what you want to do is really try to, I'm gonna say something sarcastic, but I'm still gonna catch the vibe. You know that thing called a phone that we scroll through?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually use it to call law schools and
Yep.
be like, hey, first off, love your school. What's the status of your class now? Is your class full? Second, I'm thinking about retaking the LSAT. If I take it in April, will that be in consideration? I know we are oftentimes paralyzed by fear.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask. We're talking to the source right here.
Yeah, I see in the chat that this is their first time taking the LSAT. Hopefully you have been doing a lot of prep work so you kind of can gauge where you're at with practice exams, which are key to any test prep, is exposing yourself to the test prep simulation. So if you have a confident practice score that you can anticipate being a simulation to your first time taking the exam, it's good to have that when you take it for the first time. But I had to take the LSAT 4 times,
Yeah.
so it it is a process.
And the thing about it is, if you're going to take it that late, you got to have all your other stuff ready. There
Correct.
cannot be no delays. So that may be something where you either may want to work on your essays and have them prepared, because as soon as your score drops, you got to be clicking submit, and
Yep.
you can actually have everything uploaded and ready, literally uploaded and ready, and all you have to do is when that drops, click submit, because you do not want to have any delays. Because when you are applying into June, what I like to tell Lorraine, I think about it like Oprah, right? Oprah's in the middle of the stadium, cannot accept throughout the year. You get an acceptance. You get an acceptance.
Right.
Eventually, Charlie gonna run out, and
Right.
not gonna have as many to give anymore. So you want to be able to exercise and move with a sense of urgency, and contact their law schools who are accepting applications in June just to find out if it's going to be okay. We got another great question, by the way. We got
I
another
love
question.
this question.
Said, any advice for someone switching careers? I'm a tech professional planning to take the LSAT in June. Yeah, and apply in 2026. Any advice for us non-traditional students to better our odds? Eyeing SMU and Texas A&M, two schools that I love.
I love this question, and I have a special adoration and just awe of folks who are non-traditional students like myself, because that career change or path, it's so it's it's like a good hat to have when you're in the application pool with folks who are just straight out of undergrad, who don't have that career experience or professional experience. It sets you apart quite well in the application pool. So that is tremendous that you have that tech experience. And then also explore how the law and your current profession blends, because data privacy, tech, that is booming right now, I can tell you. And having that and exploring that before you even take the LSAT or start your personal statements, having some idea of that could also narrow in on your personal statement theme, as well as what programs the schools that you are interested in might offer you to solidify your commitment to that school. So
Great
that's
question.
great. I love non-traditional
And I'm
students.
keeping it a buck with you, sis. Do you kind of believe like the term non-traditional is kind of like, it's kind of going away? Because I
Yeah.
feel like we're seeing a shift
Yeah.
happen
Yeah.
where the average age of law students continues to grow every year. And of course, people are now realizing and taking that shift to change different careers. Now, I've worked with someone says changing careers for the third time.
Yep. Yep.
And the thing,
I have my No, you're exactly right. I like the term non-traditional because it's like one of those buzzwords, and it is a buzzword when you're just describing yourself and your experience. But exactly that. There's folks who had an amazing career doing one thing and then discovered the law and how it could be a fruitful thing for them to explore and grow in. And that was myself. I started out as an educator post undergrad, and now I'm a JD, so I definitely admire that. Non-traditional is a buzzword, but it shouldn't be a stigma anymore. It definitely shouldn't be.
absolutely. And I just think oftentimes in this whole process is a lot of times we're just creating barriers because we're afraid of what's going to happen. And we're afraid of, this process is a lot. I tell people, you don't go through this journey unless you really love this stuff. Because it definitely ain't about the money, because you're not about to get the money for years. So it's about something deeper than that.
Right.
And, oftentimes we have this myth that, it's supposed to be easy selling. But no, it's a lot of impatience. It's a lot of rejection. And I want to ask you a personal question. When you went through this process, what gave you the strength to go on? Because let's be honest, man, we were in these shoes not too long ago, and you over there scrolling through the gram, through the book, you showing love for your friends. Yeah, they got in. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, what helped you to keep going on through this process? Because I know it's a lot of people right now. They're happy for other people, but they're
Yeah.
like that made today. Damn God, where my time at? Come on now, bro.
That is a great question. It's so relevant because I honestly, I can be candid, and I spoke my truth because I posted about it. I did not pass the July bar exam. I failed the bar exam the first time I took it. And exactly when the results dropped, seeing your friends get it, did it, it was like, oh man, it's still something that I'm processing, but I'm so thankful for it because every rejection that I've received in this world helped me to where I am today. And that's what motivates me because it's a fire, it's a flame. Every protagonist that we root for had a major L that changed the trajectory of where they're at. And law school and applying to law school is this is it's the same. Whether it's doing all the work to take the LSAT and you don't get the score that you were looking for, doing all the work to get the score and the school telling you no and you have to do it again or reapply somewhere else, that no solidifies or should solidify that it's not meant for you, but it's not the end all be all. And I think of it as an opportunity to see where else I should be or where else I should fit. And I haven't regretted any rejection I received.
I mean, and I think about it, right? I think we have to experience rejection in order for us to realize this is something that we really want.
Yeah.
We have to be able to have that level of discomfort for us to be able to truly be tested. Because otherwise, if you're not invested in this, you'll just say, man, F it, I'm going to go on OnlyFans and show my feet and make $21 million and be done with
Exactly.
it. Like,
Exactly that. The easy route, easy money, easy career. Think about the non-traditional student. You've done something great, phenomenally for so long, and it just isn't lighting a fire in you anymore. You could do it for the rest of your life, happily so, but where's that fire? Where's that passion? Where's that drive? And you will find that in law school when you are going through whatever down, whether it's studying or whatever it may be, and you always have to go back to your why. Why am I going through this to get you through it?
but I guess also one of the things I definitely want to talk to you about. And so we got folks, we want to talk about two groups of folks we got. We got the folks that they ain't heard nothing from the law school at all.
Right.
We got the second group of folks. They got that wait list letter. Okay, I'm on the wait.
Yeah.
Right? What should these two, let's talk about the folks that ain't heard nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What's right now?
It depends on if you haven't heard anything because the application is still open, or you haven't heard anything, the applications are closed and they're still going through the reviewing the process. I'm an avid person of being an advocate for yourself. I pulled up on folks.
Hold on. Say that again, Queens. What do you say you do? Come on.
I pull up on folks. We can ask anybody in this building, especially if you want something done, and if you want, just even if it is a rejection, if you just want a response from somebody and you are committed into whatever it may be, you're going to advocate for yourself, and you should advocate for yourself if and only if you are warranted a reply now. You have to be considerate. You have to be patient, that it is an application process that might still be open and not fully closed. And then given that, I don't have a time frame because every school is different and the application pools for every school is different. But if you have that inkling, if you have that feeling that this has exceeded my wait time, be passionate, be confident in yourself. Respectfully, don't just come in blazing, where's my letter? But schedule a meeting, inquire, do the necessary work it is to advocate for yourself.
And at the end of the day, oftentimes, one of the things I think that's important about pulling up and advocating for yourself is it gives you the clarity that you need. Right? I've had examples, sis, where I've had students pull up at Thurgood Marshall School of Law and roll out with an acceptance because
there we go.
Someone else pulled up to Atlanta John Marshall. We had her as a guest. She's now a practicing attorney. She pulled up with a transcripts and the whole bag. Next day, walked out with an acceptance.
Right.
And another student, got a rejection. But that gives me the clarity I need.
Right.
Mark you off this, so I need to know where I need to move next. And especially I tell my folks, it's like, the school's nearby. I used to tell my, I'm like, I pass at CUNY all the time. Pull up.
Right. Right.
Nobody's going to curse you out.
Right.
Nobody's on you. Nobody's going to shame you because so many people working in admissions where you are. If they dies with you and understand what's going on. So don't move with fear. Now I have another group of students though.
The waitlist students. Oh, that's heartbreaking. I was waitlisted in undergrad. I took it personally. That's a question that I would have to actually scout for, because I honestly don't know what the waitlist process is like for law school in particular, where it's not a guarantee, and I don't know what it's dependent on, whether the seats are filled up, the seat tickets for the incoming class before they open it to the waitlist students, and then at a short period of time from collecting all the seats for the incoming class to then opening it to waitlist students. And if you're ready, you're ready. Let's go. Some folks may not be ready because they've been waitlisted. They don't know. So I
And,
would have to.
and share more. When you get waitlisted, what it is, I always have to break things down to boos and bays. You hit the number, and she says, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what does that mean that you do? Of course, it doesn't mean that means that you want to do things, you guys. You send your letter of continued interest.
Right.
You do to make yourself memorable. I know a lot of people send letters of continued interest, but one of the things I try to preach is you want to do more than that. One of the things Lorraine talked about is networking in the legal field after you finish applying to law school. Adding to that, you guys, get letters of recommendations to submit with your letter of continued interest.
Okay.
So, the thing is, Lorraine said it right. There is no exact science in regards to how to get off a wait list.
Yeah.
Some law schools never pull off their wait list at all. Other law schools do. And so you want to, I tell people, empty the tank. Leave no stone unturned. I'm at the point it comes down to effort. You're going to pull up, or you're going to go do things to network to show people that you want it. And at the end of the day, if it does not lead to the acceptance, you've, however, created a meaningful network that you could be able to build and grow from anyway. Now I got another one I want to ask you about, Lorraine. You're like, damn, what?
I love these questions. I'm here for it.
All right. Next question.
And
what about
if you guys have questions, please put them in the chat.
Please do. And Bree, I want to see a question in the chat, sis. So I'll love. Next question is this. What about students who've been rejected? What should they do now? Because I think the mistake both of us made, and I'll call me out. I was like, well, I got rejected from 8 schools, so I'm just going to sit here and wait for the other 9 to see if everything going to turn out right. Mistake. What would you advise people to do who've gotten rejections now? I mean, the app cycle is still open. What are you telling them to do?
Yeah. I have gotten rejections myself from law school, and I'm a Cancer, so I take everything personally, and I did cry about it. But I could talk about the pipeline program because that was my experience from the rejection. But folks who get that rejection, the first thing first, you got to go through whatever emotions it is that you go through when you get that no. But just as we were talking about, it's not a hard no. You have to do the necessary work if you want it. Whether you got the rejection because that your LSAT score wasn't high enough, that's an easy fix. Not easy essentially, but it is an opportunity for you to get the necessary prep. Because I took the LSATs cold, and with the prep program, that did not work for me. And I went through the pipeline process, and I got the necessary score I needed to get into CUNY. So test prep and getting a higher LSAT score is one avenue. If it was any other reason, and sometimes they won't give you a reason why they rejected you, but take the time to reflect on how you can improve your application, or maybe that school isn't right for you. You have to do the necessary research to make sure that this is the right fit for you, and take that no as a sign. I always take every rejection as a sign that this is not my time, or this might not be where I'm supposed to be at, period.
And last time I checked, sis, how many ABA accredited law schools is there out there?
Oh, that's a great question. I know there's over 100, so what's the number?
Well, actually, official today, they're now back to 197 ABA accredited. It was at 196.
Wow.
But today,
100.
approved, and I had it in the post.
Yes, I saw.
Law school got ABA approval now. So we're now back to 197. So what does that mean, you guys out there? That means that if you got to know, there's 197 schools out there, y'all.
That's amazing. 197 law schools in this country.
And how many do you need to go to law school?
This month. Wow.
All you need is one.
Wow.
So if you've gotten the rejection, go through the motions. I know I ain't ashamed to say it, but I was like, okay, when I get rejected, when we get rejections, that means that there's something that's missing from my application. When we get multiple rejections, hell, it's something missing. Where do we? And the blessing, I says, this is gonna sound crazy, but think about, you need to say thank you to the law schools that told you no early. Why? Because the application cycle's still open. All right, bet. Let me go ahead and run it back. Let me go ahead and see what's whack in my app. Not whack. What areas I need to improve
Improve
on in
on.
my
Absolutely.
maybe my essays, maybe my resume. Because you do not have to wait for another cycle. I unfortunately thought that, well, I applied to 21 schools. 11
Wow.
said, 12 said no. I'm just going to pray. And
One, give you that yes.
you not see the signs I gave you to make changes? And I didn't make any changes, and I ended up having to wait a whole nother app
Okay.
cycle.
Wow.
And so I want you guys to be able to realize that rejection doesn't mean no. It just means pivot. Pivot and look at different schools. Pivot and
Yep.
consider other programs. Now, of course, you know I got to give you to give a plug about the CUNY Law Pipeline
Yes.
Program.
I absolutely love the Pipeline to Justice program at CUNY. There needs to be more pipeline programs in other law schools, and they're going to catch on to the wave because CUNY is just making that strides in not only being the #1 diverse law school in this country, but the pipeline program is the heart of the diversity in our law school because we all got rejected or we all just need that extra support and community because of our background, because we're quote unquote non-traditional, that we need that support in order to face the LSAT, beat the LSAT, and we don't have to go through the application process anymore. So the pipeline program is literally a pipeline through the admissions process. And once you complete the program, you get the LSAT score, which is part 1 of the program. Part 2 is like a law school simulation. So you get to really understand what the next 3 to 4 years is going to be like, how to read a case, how to outline, and how to prepare for a final exam that will determine whether you are going to be matriculated into the incoming class. So with that experience with Pipeline, I survived law school 100%.
I have to be able to, I hear the voices of people saying things, and I want to give you the space to address it. But I took a prep course. I did
Yeah.
this course. You got to tell them about who teaches the course at CUNY. You guys, she moves different, and the different way she moves gets results. And is the proof. Real quick.
The Pipeline to Justice program is taught, the LSAT part of the program is taught by the one and only, the Queen, Carolyn Nelson of Nelson Test Prep. And it was only through her and the Pipeline program that I was able to improve my LSAT score. I did other alternative LSAT prep courses. I won't name names, but it didn't get, I got rejected from every law school before the Pipeline program. So I'll say that. And then through that experience, not just her prep course, but it was the community that was built. It's not you should not go through this process alone. We had my classmates, my cohort, we were holding each other accountable. All right, we got homework we got to do. We got to do packets of these logic reasoning questions together and break it down. Why is this question wrong? And through that process, a majority of us was able to get invited to part 2. We got the LSAT score that we needed.
Can somebody type in the chat the Nelson Test Prep so they could be able to see it?
Yes.
I've heard from about the program from a whole bunch of folks who've taken it, and they were struggling on the LSAT. They did her way, and different. Each system moves different, and it gets results. So you guys to understand it. When things don't work, you know what you do? You kind of got to try something else.
Yes.
And I hope you guys are using this information. And I, for one, always act with a sense of urgency. Programs like the CUNY Pipeline Program or the 26 conditional admissions programs that are currently in place, or the Clio PreLaw Summer Institute program, which has been in place since 1968.
Wow.
These programs are here for now. I don't know. We got 4 years, and we already seen what's happened in the last 43 days. These programs aren't guaranteed to be around forever. And I oftentimes tell people we want to move with a sense of urgency while these programs, which are designed specifically for you, are here to help you navigate this space. So if you are struggling with the LSAT, that's not an excuse not to apply. You have schools who are really trying to help you guys. And I hope that, I know it's Wednesday. I'm not trying to preach, but
I know.
I know, right? Wednesday night Bible study, right?
We are. It's fine. It's fine.
But, we want to see you guys win. Because if you guys are able to win, then our community changes.
Absolutely.
We could sit out on the sideline and complain about things not being right. But you guys each, and us too, we all had this dream for a reason. And a part of this dream is for us to help you guys get the resources you need to make that dream happen. And so I hope that this has been helpful to you. Now, one question I do want to ask, I want to ask some more questions. Now, we know about, and you're the perfect person to ask this, actually. We know about being persistent. But where do we draw the line between, okay, fam, especially, my personals, okay, fam, you came by this school yesterday.
Yeah.
I keep it a buck, Lorraine. I was definitely teetering on the side of that when I was way back applying to law school.
Yeah.
So where do we draw the line between being persistent and then becoming a pest? Because I think a lot of people, because of that fear, they literally don't try.
I'm a sociable person, and because of that, people know me. And I think that's the key. If the person that you are actively trying to engage with knows you by name, knows you by application, not just an application, not just anything but knows who you are, what you stand for, and solidified that, okay, I thank you. Like that relationship has been formed. I think it's safe to trust the process. I will continue to say that. That is my mantra. Trust that you did the necessary work that is needed, that you need to do.
Because I'll tell you guys what not to do. Because this is probably why I did not get into the University of Memphis when I wait. They said, Anthony, we'll call you if we hear anything. I was not satisfied with that, so I started every week.
Yep.
I wasn't listening. I drove up there to the University of Memphis Law School. I already went on a tour twice. Just to ask, hey, so what's up?
Yeah.
And I say all this in jest, but I really want you guys to be able to understand is that this process, you cannot take it personal. These admissions, in fact, there's some admissions, you guys, who have full staffs, full teams. There's some that are literally just 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
And do not want to get an attitude or cost you your blessing. Because this process is the part that we don't like. We have to learn to be patient. We put our best foot forward. We pray. We put good energy out there. But then we do a part of it, we do have to wait. And so I want you to tell me, like, for example, for you, how did you deal with that waiting? Because a lot of people are struggling right now, man. It's hard. I know somebody said they had to get off of social media. They got tired of seeing everybody.
I've heard that. I've heard the social media plug. I was the opposite, and I'm in that waiting period now, waiting for the February bar results. I keep busy. I build on my communities. I work doing what I love most, which is mentoring and this space and other spaces in my school and home communities. But whatever it is to keep your mind busy, your spirit busy, as well as just feeding yourself. And like I said in the beginning, it's taking that time to relax, because you won't have that. You have to manage your time to put in self-care time. Now you have all the self-care time you need. So trust and enjoy it.
And it changes like
You
this.
Immediately. The moment you get that application, I mean, that acceptance letter, it's a wrap.
Like Lorraine, like literally, I had one student who I posted who got in the
Mhm.
day before, like, what's going on? I ain't heard nothing. Next day, accept.
It's life-changing. I'll never forget the day I got accepted to CUNY Law, and then immediately after the Summer Law Institute orientation, and I've been on since.
And I think this whole process is one to teach you about yourself and also to force yourself out of your comfort zone. And so right now, a lot of people are living in an unfamiliar place outside of their comfort zone, having to wait. And of course, I always like to give you the last word, to say something encouraging to someone out there who may be struggling, to got that rejection, or, you know, just on academic probation in law school right now, who
All of
may
that.
need encouragement. So I'll give you the floor.
Oh,
And quiet.
thank you so much. I I give the same gems, but I'm thinking I'm in a space where I can give um, that positive light that everything that you're going through right now has its purpose, whether you know it or not, and trusting that for your growth, your improvement, and becoming the best person that you can be to do this job, to do the work necessary is where I'm at in this space with my rejection and then doing it again and now feeling ready and confident and excited and all the positive feelings. All of the negative feelings will turn to positive feelings if you continue to have that faith and love and trust in yourself in this journey and process. I want to be a support for everybody who needs that extra support. And hopefully we can let you will laugh about it. I don't know when, but there's moments where you will laugh and reflect that, man, I was stressing about this, or
Yeah.
okay, I went through a heck of a 1L year. I went through a heck of an application process. And now on the other side, someone just told me you're welcome back from the other side. And it feels great. So every storm, every, what is it, peak, valley, everything that you go through, will get you to where you're supposed to be.
Woo! And let the church say amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And I mean, the thing is, I saw this quote that said, "The wind is coming. Stop worrying about the wind." And I was,
Ugh.
wow, we're worried about the wind, and the wind is already there. And we just have to do the growth necessary to make it happen. Lorraine, bless you, sis. Thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
dropping gems. You guys, she's a part of the family. She asked you guys if you have questions, holler at her.
Please do.
You are you are not on this journey alone, you guys. I know at times you feel like that in your spot. You may not have family or friends who can relate, but we've created a community of people who are here to love you, support you, cheer for you, help you win. So lean on that community. We're here to help you. She's a DM away, and you can always holler at
I am. Thank you.
so
Have a great evening.
yeah, so thank you guys for joining us for making the case. So we'll see you same time next Wednesday at 8. Peace and blessings.
Bye.
Thanks, Lorraine.